If going back to work would make your life better, we're going to help with that.
Yes, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, a retiree, or unemployed, Vicki Salemi, author of Big Career in the Big City, is here to share some useful tips that will help you get back in the workforce. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, first, you say to be realistic with your expectations. So what do you mean by that?
When you're going into a new job or even an interview, you have to think realistically. Like we were talking earlier, if someone comes back into the workforce and they were a director when they left, they may need to take a step back, start as a manager. They may need to report to someone that's younger than them, maybe 10, 20 years younger than them. They may take a salary cut. So they really need to think long term in terms of getting their foot back in the market for the long term and not the short term.
How much does pride interfere with people at those early stages of getting back into the workforce? Well, I don't want to work for somebody who's 20, or I don't want to work for that amount of money.
Pride is huge, and people need to leave their ego at the door, really. Because they want that job, they have to look at the person they're working for, not as an age. Similarly, how they don't want to be looked at as being older, right? But pride is a huge factor, yeah.
And should they keep in touch with their colleagues or try and get back into the workforce by reaching out to people that they worked with before?
Definitely, because it's so important to stay in touch with your contacts, even if it's just personally over the years, because then when you're actually looking, it's not like, hey, I haven't talked to you in 4 years. Do you have a job? It's like, hey, how are your kids? Oh, by the way, I'm going to get back in the market after Labor Day. I'm starting to look for a job. Who do you know? Do you have any departments with openings? Keep me in mind. So it's a little bit less cash, but yeah, you should definitely reach out to colleagues.
I think a lot of people find that kind of network, they worry that that kind of networking will seem disingenuous, or they're a little nervous to do it.
Yeah.
What do you tell people to encourage them to keep those relationships going?
Be personal, be authentic. It's not always about the job. Ask how their kids are, ask how their life is, their summer vacation. And it's not about, oh, can you hire me? It's getting to know them better as people. Build those relationships. It's not always about the job. And then you bridge that gap into the job saying, oh, by the way, I'm looking, or do you have any advice for me? And people love to help people. People want to help people. So you can just say, I'm looking for help, or I'm looking for advice.
And you have tactical tips too, how to physically get back into the workforce.
Exactly.
Right?
You need to brush up your interview skills first and foremost. Brush up your interview suit. I mean, go to Macy's, get a Tahari suit. You don't have to spend a lot of money. They have really good sales this time of year.
Yeah.
Look the part, and then do mock interviews with friends. Videotape yourself. Get feedback. Keep your technical skills sharp. Go to a community college maybe. Maybe your Microsoft Word skills are a little bit rusty.
Yeah, I was going to say, technology changes so much.
It does, and it's important just to stay in the game. Even, volunteer at a soup kitchen. A big thing for people who are re-entering is they don't have the soft skills.
Right.
So they need to brush up, like the water cooler buzz. Oh, did you watch Game of Thrones? What did you think? They should go, volunteer at a soup kitchen, go to their church mixer, do things just to be social, because that will actually also help them on the interview too.
I know that for a lot of women who've been stay-at-home moms and even stay-at-home dads who are getting back in the workforce, their life has been raising kids, which is an incredibly hard job, but it's not the same skill set as you say, socializing and learning to use the computer. What kind of skills should people be brushing up on other than the social skills before they go out into the marketplace?
Great. That's a really good question, JD. I would say first and foremost, time management. Because you can actually parlay that skill set into a resume by saying, I've been working so hard at home as a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, but I've been managing a budget. I've been managing all these schedules. I've been doing time management, so I can do all these things and parlay it here. They may want to shadow a friend at an office just to get acclimated to that setting again. Sitting behind a desk for 8 hours is so different than running around and managing your household.
Yeah, but also volunteering at school. I mean, you could put that on a resume too, right? I mean,
exactly.
Doing things like that.
Exactly.
Working at the school.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Rebecca, because let's say you're a treasurer at your kid's book club. Well, you're managing money. If you're going for an accounting job, you have relevant skills.
Yeah, it's good. It's important to remember how to craft it. What about putting together the perfect resume? Are there resources out there to help people?
Definitely. People can go online and Google it. Glassdoor.com is definitely a resource. In general, they also show salaries, because salaries go back to your expectations of knowing what the market's bearing, right? If you left, let's say, the market 5-10 years ago and you're re-entering, you may not know what you're worth. So Glassdoor.com, salary.com. But yeah, Glassdoor.com. Yeah, and they basically also people review companies as well. So there are different ways, but your resume, to that point, you really need to spruce it up and make it relevant. And don't have gaps. Even, let's say you've been out of the workforce 5, 8, however long, how many years, you need to put in the information that's valuable in terms of what you've been doing with your time.
Yeah, coaching your kid's soccer team counts,
being
right?
at
Those
home,
things count.
being at home with kids is a lot of work.
It is a tough
It
job.
really is. And I
Absolutely.
think people can appreciate that too, right?
Yeah.
Vic, thank you so much. Really good to have you with us.
Thank
You can find a lot more information on re-entering the workforce in big career in the big city.
And now, once you've got that job, you'll want to keep it. Up next, how to manage your work reputation.
But
JD.
first, if you will, yeah, my work reputation is shot today after the talk of cats and neutering dogs.